Good morning. I'm back. David Hinton. Day 5 of my 90-day Facebook Live video challenge. Good morning, all. Hope everybody's doing well. Chapter 4, title is, You Have to Start with a Penny. He starts with a quote, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a small step." Lao Tzu. He starts by recounting the story about the doubling of the penny that you might remember, where the father gave the son the opportunity to take either $1 million or the penny, and of course the penny gambit turned out to be much more valuable. And people say, wow, that's amazing to think you could start with nothing and build a fortune. Well, not quite accurate. You don't start with nothing. You have to start with a penny. No big deal. I mean, of course you start with a penny, but it's basically starting with nothing. No, it's not. It's starting with a penny. It may seem like an insignificant difference, although you're probably starting to have a little bit different view of the word insignificant. The truth is, it makes all the difference. To accomplish anything worth accomplishing, to create success, to achieve your dreams, you don't have to do impossible, extraordinary, superhuman things, but you do have to do something. You have to start with a penny. Success does not come from nowhere. It can't be conjured out of thin air. It comes from a very small beginning, a very small, tiny beginning, but there has to be a beginning. That beginning is the thing people miss, the thing they don't see, and they don't see it because it's so tiny. It's invisible. He starts with an example of Mark Zuckerberg, who took his idea of Facebook in his Harvard dorm room, and he kept working on it, and it went from virtually nothing to the largest social media network that we have today. At the time of this writing, he had 500 million users. I believe he has quite a bit more than that right now. It relays the story of an English teacher named Steve who was working on a manuscript, and he thought it was terrible, and he crumpled it up, threw it in the garbage can, and his wife takes it out of the garbage can, looks at it and says, you really need to keep going on this. I think you've got a seed of an idea. I think it'll sell. Long story short, that Steve was Stephen King. That was the book Carrie, which launched him to the career that he became the best-selling author of the entire 20th century. It relays the story of Rosa Parks, who in 1955 decided that she was going to not go to the back of the bus, and that small act created the seed of the civil rights movement. He even goes and relates it to us beginning as a small embryo that grows into a full-blown human being, but it didn't come from nowhere. It had to start with a penny. So how does that relate to us now? Could you begin doubling a penny when it comes to your health? What if you began a little moderate exercise, a brisk 1 mile walk, get your heart up, no big deal. You wouldn't feel much different the next day, not really noticeably, but if you continued on, you would see a difference. What if I told you that reading a book like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich would change your life? You're not going to sit down and read that in a day, but what if you read 10 pages a day? Similar to, he relays the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, 358 pages, but if you read 10 pages a day, you finish that in a hurry. Now, I'm of the opinion, a little aside here, that reading 12 books in a year is great, but you probably get a whole lot more if you read one book 12 times. That way you would actually truly instead of getting that, just kind of surface level knowledge, it allows you to drive deep and have a true understanding. So for a lot of people, me included, the doubling the penny story is great, but you find it unrealistic. He goes on to say, well, what if I could just, and not double a penny, but what if I added a penny every day? I was like, yeah, I could see that. Then he goes on to say, what if I could give you just an additional 0.3 of 1% every single day? Just 0.3 of 1%, 0.003. He takes that math out and said if you did that every day for a year, you would double your whatever it is you're working on, whether it's your health, your finances, your productivity, your relationships. So instead of doubling, how about if we apply your daily 0.3% effort? That's twice of you in 1 year. Greatness is always in the moment of decision. So can we improve ourselves that little bit every day with actions like perhaps what I'm doing here for myself or whatever you might want to do? Only if you actually do it. Again, it's in the doing it. Let's see what else we got here. Key points. This is a short one. To accomplish anything worth accomplishing, to create success, to achieve your dreams, you don't have to do impossible, extraordinary, superhuman things, but you do have to do something. You have to start with a penny. Do you think you can improve yourself, your health, your knowledge, your skills, your diet, your relationships, whatever area of your life you want to look at, just 1%? So, in the last sentence of the chapter, it says, look past our circumstances and focus on where we want to go by improving little by little. So, I challenge myself, I challenge you, whoever might see this today or may stumble across it, whenever. Can you make that little effort? And will you make it the following day and the following day? That's what I'm trying to do. And come along with me. Maybe we'll have some fun together. Have a great day. Have a great day.